Evening message on May 21st, 2022. Further than stillness. Don't be stuck with just stillness. That which is not relevant to stillness. That which is not related to stillness or indifference. This will be unwinding that discards itself. To help through unwinding and releasing, how can there be with just stillness and indifference? This is just hypnotizing. Uninvolved with the disregarding right away, all the same simultaneously. Disregard from itself, uninvolved with the disregard itself. It's not about anything within the uninvolved itself. Just looking or seeing is not sufficient. So the disregard is not itself absolutely. It's not okay to use just looking, seeing and knowing. That is stuck within looking, seeing and knowing. It's not okay. Doesn't work. The disregard is not itself fully, absolutely. It's not the disregard itself, uninvolved with the non-attachment itself, absolutely. Don't be obsessed with just disregarding, uninvolved with it. Furthermore, that which is not the disregarding. Retreat more from disregarding, furthermore from disregarding. Uninvolved with the disregarding again and again. This will be enabled towards unwinding that discards itself Otherwise, it's be comfortable within such a state of just disregarding. Continue incalculably in a way that is not limited. That which is not related to the disregarding go on continuously, incalculably, without limits, so that it will purify all the specific maintaining, delusively falling in stillness and indifference. It's not the non-attachment itself absolutely, constantly share the essence, whether it's near or far. It's not the non-attachment itself, child. Uninvolved with non-attachment itself, this will cut off that which is obscure, all the delusion that's always obsessively being at random. It's not non-attachment itself, uninvolved with the non-attachment itself. Beware, the disregard in the way of stillness and indifference gonna be sunken within hindrances, and so continue without giving significance within disregarding. With this, one will not be hiding within stillness or indifference, hypnotizing oneself on and on, hypnotizing one's own mind on and on. It's not the non-attachment so that one can release from sunken state of stillness and indifference. Continue onwards without giving significance with the disregarding or non-attachments. Otherwise, it's going to become realm of existence on and on. So continue with uninvolved with the disregarding. It's not about anything within being peaceful not about anything within stillness or indifference, not about anything within the anicca or dukkha, not about anything within the anatta. It's not about anything within anything, child. The non-attachment is not itself. Then naturally it will not be about anything within all things, all elements, mind or Dhamma. It will not be about anything whatsoever. So let's give the essence of cutting deluded knowing for samsara. Don't be stuck. That is being stuck within the mind. First of all, is being stuck within the attempt to be stuck, the attempt to be attached, to cling. First of all, this is what it is, being stuck with just the attempt to cling. So disregard even from the disregard itself. The non-attachment is not anything within itself. Well with it. Then it will not be about anything attempting to attach or detach all by itself. It is not about the non-attachment. So don't fall in stillness or indifference. The non-attachment is not itself. Naturally, it will not be about a person who is attached or detached. You always sink within stillness and indifference. So unroll within itself right away. Unroll with the disregard right away, constantly. This is the reminder which cuts through itself. Reminder of the cutting within the cutting itself. Without the reminder as such, it will be stagnation within one's own karmic habits. It's gonna be torturing. Like when one likes to go on the trip here and there, there's only grasping, always state of karma and karmic retributions within the mind, within verbal itself. So use the essence of that which has nothing to do with disregarding, so that it will be purification of extinction. Otherwise, you'll be bored to be stuck with just oneself within one's own mind. When you are bored, you're going here and there, using all your senses. This is not true. Running away from this suffering to another. Without the conclusion of the enlightenment. Disregard even from the disregard itself. The disregard is not itself, is not itself. The emptiness doesn't grasp itself, putting down is not grasping itself. The cutting doesn't grasp itself. retreat from the disregarding, uninvolved with disregarding. Don't be limited with just disregarding. Are you able to retreat from disregarding? It's all the same essence, that which is not relevant to disregarding. It's not about anything within the disregarding itself. It's not about anything within disregarding, actually. That's retreating from disregarding. Go ahead fully, absolutely. If you can retreat from disregarding, that's it. Then you is not you. It's not about being someone, that's worse. Retreat further, much more further. In Vietnamese, the word Loei means retreating, moving away. Constantly retreat from disregarding. What are you doing? You always use the disregard to become stillness and indifference. You cannot use disregarding to be something, to create something from it, because disregarding is not itself. There is the overlay of karmic habits here. It becomes like equanimity, concentration, or indifference. That's not the way. It's just like using the mind to make it empty. Actually, emptiness is not emptiness either. To make the mind empty, what is that? Huh? You can endlessly making such a way, lifetime after lifetime. Emptiness is not emptiness. Huh? Therefore, don't involve with the emptiness, because it's not going to be empty. Truly not. Don't try to be empty in this way and that way until it's so troubling. Disregard is not itself. It's not about practicing the mind or trying to let go. Uninvolved with disregarding is not about practicing the mind. How can it happen? is called end the role of the samudaya, the attributes of clinging, attaching, end it. It's so deep because the delusive attachment has been deepening because of the mind practicing itself with itself on and on and on and on. It is deepening of the delusive attachment. So disregard the disregard that is not itself. Well with it. So it will not be about anything within the body or mind or all things naturally. Not about anything within yes or no naturally. Well with it. When to bless samsara, we cannot use the mind to bless. It has to be that which is not the mind, not related to the mind. In other words, it's the emptiness that purifies samsara, the emptiness that helps end for samsara. We cannot use such a thing as the arising mind at all. That's why continue to uninvolve with disregarding, then it will be automatically purifying through the emptiness and extinction. The mind towards all things, that's gonna be just top up the karmic difficulties of samsara. This is the karma of knowing, of titi, of wisdom, of insight, mindfulness and concentration. When blessing truly, we cannot use any type of dharma at all for blessing. Only the emptiness will be for blessing. Cannot use the mind, any types of mind for blessing at all. Because that's not going to end. It's going to be the arising much more. Therefore, that which has nothing to do with the non-attachment, it will be automatic in purifying through the emptiness and the extinction. Let's continue to use that which is not the disregarding. It's not about using the mind towards all things. That is endless. That's only adding more of the delusion to arise or to cease. Always significance within arising and ceasing on and on. And it's impossible to use the knower to help end because it is the arising in itself. The non-attachment is not itself. This will be purification of extinction and emptiness without using terminologies or any assumed things. That which is not the non-attachments continue onwards. Therefore, that which is mentioned is just a reflection. It's terminologies and assumed all these words. Just a reflection. It's impossible to grasp whatever you hear. To grasp it is impossible to end accordingly. No matter how many Buddha eras will be, impossible also to help through ending. Whatever that is said here is impossible to grasp.
เอาไปเอามันจะไม่สามารถตรัสรู้ตามได้เลยว่ามันจะกลาย
It's impossible to follow enlightenment. There's only just clinging and attaching. So no matter how many words of such Dharma, it's impossible to grasp. Otherwise, it's going to be samutai overlaying Dhamma. Therefore, listen well. Then the listening will purify itself. It will cease whatever that is heard. That means ending accordingly, ceasing accordingly, uninvolved even within the unvolved itself. It's indicated that it's impossible to use the unvolved to unvolve with anything at all. It's impossible to use the uninvolvement to attempt to unvolve with anything at all, because the uninvolved doesn't grasp itself. Therefore, whoever deludedly grasping to uninvolve in this way and that way, disregard in this way and that way, it becomes samsara immediately. It's not about anything within the involvement itself. Listen well. If you hear well, it's impossible to grasp it to make anything from it. It will be just ceasing right there and then. The rest is just to help through ending, helping through ending.